It is part 2 of Fight Night back in Seattle, Washington, as we kick off with singles action of the very acrobatic variety that is Black Panther making his way to the ring with his queen, Storm, Aurora Monroe, King T'Challa making their way to the ring for one-on-one action with Dick Grayson, former Boy Wonder, current Nightwing. Why are these two going one-on-one? Well, after the big tag team match they had and the victory that Black Panther and Punisher pulled off, Black Panther has been given one last shot to earn his way into that Ultimate Contingency Plan briefcase ladder match, but he has to beat Nightwing to do it. What does Nightwing get if he wins? Well, because Arkham Knight is getting a shot at the Omega level championship against Batman, but he walked out on their original match and took the 10 count rather than fighting Nightwing. If Nightwing can defeat Black Panther, it will become a triple threat for the Omega level championship. A lot on the line for both men here. Huge opportunities. Who will take that opportunity once in a lifetime, yo, and reach out and grab it? Storm in the corner of Black Panther. Obviously, that X factor is part of this equation. That being said, Nightwing has been on quite a roll lately, except for that tag team match where it really set back. In singles competition, he's been quite impressive, really getting into winning form as of late. Excellent chain wrestling between these two. So quick. The skill and finesse, able to counter one another, able to regain control over the other back and forth. This promises to be a very impressive display on both men's parts. DDT, very similar to the float over that Batman uses as a signature maneuver. A maneuver that looks like it would go well with a cloak or cape. Something to add a little bit of flourish and hide your opponent visually. Perhaps where that maneuver comes from. And now locking in another chin lock, slowing down the opponent. This is normally not a tactic that Dick Grayson uses a lot. However, facing someone who is just as quick as you are, who's just as aerial and just as acrobatic, sometimes you have to adopt a different strategy to try to slow them down, try to ground them, try to take away that arsenal. It's an interesting and it's a valid strategy from the Boy Wonder here, former Boy Wonder, I should say. Former protege of the current Omega level champion. Oh, big strikes. Look like you could see the head and neck buckle after those almost overhand chop style blows to the neck and shoulders, side of the face. Oh, big forearm. Black Panther fighting back into this, taking control. For the most part, it was Dick Grayson in charge of this match, but has suddenly turned that around. Big sweep. Oh, and he's caught the ropes on the way down. A little bit tangled. Kick to the gut sends him into the ropes. And now looking for a decapitator. Going to the top. Could we see that? Oh, handspring into a crossbody, catches him. Scoop slam. Impressive sequence there. Likely was thinking about that moon stomp he uses to set up his moves. Wakanda Sunrise into the pin. He's got the ropes. Ref, the ropes. Ref! Ricky Refsher, what are you doing? Was clearly holding the ropes. Whether it was incidental or not, that incredible leverage could be used to keep a pinfall. Wakanda Kinshasa. Black Panther into the pin. This could be it. 1, 2, 2.5, maybe 2.9. Black Panther can't believe it, but Dick Grayson not going to let this opportunity slip, kicking out at the last moment. This is what we talked about, though. A mile-a-minute matchup. From 0 to 60 since the start. Actually, in the start, it was very back and forth, very paced, methodical, for a brief few moments in that chain exchange that we saw. But as soon as they got a feel for one another, it immediately picked up speed, changing gears and accelerating. And this is what you have before you now. Big leg and body contact there. Displaying the weight over that second rope. Oh, Nightfall. Got caught in the ropes, but still hit it. driven face first into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and Dick Grayson with a big victory. An unfortunate defeat for Black Panther, unable to capitalize on that final chance to be in that Ultimate Contingency Plan briefcase matchup. But here we saw the ropes that we mentioned, using those ropes inadvertently. Still managing to kick out this Wakanda Kinshasa we thought might have been the end. Did not do the job. In the end, it was a Nightfall putting away Black Panther. But regardless, Nightwing now, because of this opportunity, will be in a triple threat match with Arkham Knight and Batman, two former proteges who took two very different journeys. After leaving the side of the Dark Knight, now have a chance to surpass him and claim the Omega level championship. But that is our opening match as we move forwards here on Fight Night. Remember, what's the first rule of Fight Night? Everybody should be talking about Fight Night. We go into tag team action. S.H.I.E.L.D. versus HYDRA. And we've seen a lot of this war pervading our Fight Night cards. We've seen a lot of singles action in the recent episodes of Fight Night. We saw Crossbones taking on Winter Soldier to earn Captain America another chance after the shenanigan-riddled Red Skull versus Captain America match for one of those original spots. In the end, Taskmaster defeating Captain America in that second chance to claim one of those ladder match qualifying spots. But it will be tag team action with no one at ringside. No Nick Fury, no Red Skull. This will just be Captain America and Winter Soldier versus Taskmaster and Crossbones, a non-title preview of the match that these two earned in that multi-team fatal four-way match to gain number one contendership for the Earth's Mightiest Tag Team Championships. This would obviously go a long way if they could pick up a victory over the champions, to building momentum that they can use to eventually topple these rather dominant tag team champions for the first time. As we head forward, you're wondering why Red Skull not at ringside? Why no Nick Fury? Well, that's because Red Skull will be in action in our main event. You see, after kicking up a storm and making a fuss about it being unfair that his spot was taken away based on the fact that both sides were involved in interfering in that initial matchup, despite the fact that HYDRA started it with a triple powerbomb, it was determined to assuage his misgivings about the nature of that matchup at Infinity. Oh, big close on to start. That Red Skull would have one last chance to earn his way into that ladder match, but he has to beat somebody to claim that spot. He's got to basically take it from someone else. We'll find out later tonight exactly who it is he has to beat to get that spot. But let's get back to this tag team match. The always on his best behavior Ricky Ref shirt, refereeing our matches as usual here on Fight Night. And luckily with nobody on the outside, don't have to worry about any triple powerbomb shenanigans this time. As Crossbones looking to exact a little bit of vengeance for that embarrassing loss to Winter Soldier in their singles encounter. We saw his reaction after losing that match, was very, very disappointed in himself with how that match went. Oh, big knee to the face. Now he's got his partner in his corner, though. It's a different story. Making the tag already. Going for that double team. Series of knees into the ribs here. Softening up the gut for this gutbuster. Excellent teamwork from the School of Crime here. Taskmaster and Crossbones. Two vital components of Red Skull's HYDRA faction here on Fight Night. Part of how he stayed so relevant. Big DDT there. Despite not being in power. Despite S.H.I.E.L.D. of all people being in power. Still managing to hold on to those Earth's Mightiest Tag Team Championships. And stay in those major title pictures. Fighting off the flies here. With the heat comes the bugs, and I'm not a fan of it. So if you hear any loud smacks, big sidewalk slam off the fireman's carry there, that is me attempting to murder these small insects with my bare hands. It's just what you gotta do sometimes. And a big wheelbarrow facebuster from Winter Soldier, making the tag to Captain America. Excellent timing on the tag, in my opinion. Hitting that big impact move, and then taking advantage of a stunned Taskmaster. And now Captain America getting to exact a little bit of vengeance after his loss to Taskmaster. Obviously, that still was not quite a clean victory. Shenanigans were still involved. Interference still involved. But it was decided that that match would have a final decision regardless of what happened. Big front dropkick here, sending Captain America onto the second rope. Taskmaster taking full advantage of a now stunned Steve Rogers. As we were saying, the decision was final on that one. But that being said, Red Skull still believes he should be given a second chance, and it seems Director Fury has granted it, but in that case, I would say be careful what you wish for, because I doubt Fury is going to make it easy on him. Now going in for the Taskmaster lock, broken up with a forearm, just flew into Winter Soldier, catching the forearm across the face of Taskmaster. Before he could even lock it in for longer than a few moments, he was already flying in for that breakup. Flying in for a breakup. Also what happened to me when my ex visited from... You know what? I don't know why we're getting into this, my bad. As we got a sandwich in the corner. Shoulder blocks into the gut. And yeah, that was too much information. I apologize. Even though I kept it vague. Don't know what came over me on that one. It's probably the heat. Like I said, it fries my brain. And the tag made here. Oh, midnight hour. Into the pin. Taskmaster even copying the tag team finishing maneuvers he sees with those photographic reflexes. Arm drag over the shoulder. Captain America trying to fight back into this Crossbones. Obviously the man who once assassinated Steve Rogers. Big patriotic Olympic slam from Steve Rogers, laying out Crossbones as he drags him over to his team's corner here. Wisely doing so. Only a 2 count though. Took a little too long to drag him over. Gave Crossbones Gave him time to recover and fight out of this. Elbows into the gut of Steve Rogers from Crossbones here. As he Irish whips in. Using that power, even though Steve Rogers not exactly under strength here. Of the two, probably stronger than Crossbones. But Crossbones is very much a brawler. Oh, good Lord, Ricky Refshire once again wiped out. It doesn't matter. Oh, wow, already back to his feet. You see, it's just like building up calluses. It's just like, strengthening yourself. You just get used to it after a time. He's been knocked down so many times, he probably don't even feel it no more. Ricky Refshire, just a tough boy. Big Falcon Arrow. That kneeling Falcon Arrow from Steve Rogers. And another patriotic looking Olympic slam. The red, white, and black and blues left all over the back of Crossbones. Oh, arm drag from Winter Soldier. Interfering with Taskmaster's ability to break up the pin, but still Crossbones getting out. Oh, Bulldog. Caught up in the ropes there is Taskmaster. But the Bulldog reversal taking Winter Soldier out of it. The old glory from Captain America, but you got to think not going to be enough. Yep. Taskmaster able to break up the pin, and Winter Soldier nowhere to be found. Good Lord, just clubbed Taskmaster clean out of the ring. And it now boils down to Crossbones and Captain America alone in the ring. Jawbreaker tackling him into the corner. An Irish whip. Oh no, bumping into each other, not quite getting all of it. Ricky Refshire, good Lord. Full body on that one. Not going to get up nearly as quickly. Already getting to his feet. Good for you, Ricky Refshire. You keep building that tough character you got, all right? It's grit. Just rub a little dirt on it. Walk it off. You got this. Tag needed, I would say, by both men. They've been in this for quite some time as the legal men. Into the pin off that Olympic slam, but not enough. 2 count, but a close one, though. Just goes to show you exactly how exhausted both men are at this point. Definitely would argue both sides want to get out, want to recover for a little bit, get a second wind. This bite-style double ring submission. Got to make sure his shoulders don't end up hitting the mat for the pinfall. Wrenching at the neck and the shoulder joints. Fighting out, though, elbows to the top of the head from Crossbones. This could boil down to who makes the first big mistake. Old Glory! But he's not done. Seen this before. Rolling into a second. Can he hit it? Yes! 2 Old Glories. Giving the salute, but Crossbones already getting to his feet. Albeit staggered, but somehow, despite 2 Old Glories getting back to his feet, Captain America making him pay for it with that series of clotheslines into that power slam. Oh, but a big clothesline of his own. And now Captain America crawling towards his partner, but Crossbones will not allow him to make the tag. Wrenching into that camel clutch. Continuing to work the back and the spine, but oh, caught up on the ropes on the way down. That trip hanging him up like a clothesline, and I don't mean the move. Ooh, trying to lift him up, but couldn't get it done. These two countering each other blow for blow. And now we see another one of these Falcon Arrows. Down he goes. Stomping away at a downed Crossbones. Trying to put the boots to this mercenary. Has him in the corner. What could he be thinking? Oh! Seen this maneuver before from quite a few superstars. That drive-by dropkick has ended more than a few matches. That high impact, especially from a superhuman boot to the face. The readings are in. He is busted open under that mask. Can only protect you so much. Into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and S.H.I.E.L.D. picks up a big victory, moving towards their tag team title match following the Infinity pay-per-view. Captain America and Winter Soldier looking good as they head towards that potential title victory they've been reaching for ever since forming this team. See a lot of the highlights here. In the end, it just seemed like HYDRA really couldn't get out of the blocks against S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. came in with a plan and executed it to perfection. That being said, we got one more match we've mentioned before. Red Skull getting his chance to earn the spot he believes is rightfully his. But to do so, as we said earlier, he has to beat someone who's already earned a spot through his past actions, through his recent successes. Someone that Director Fury believes should be given that opportunity in that Ultimate Contingency Plan briefcase matchup. Who's he going to face? We're about to find out. But if he wants to earn his way into that match, he's got a tall task ahead of him, I'll say that much. And as we see the final third of the HYDRA trio entering the arena, Johann Schmidt, the Super Soldier Serum Enhanced, HYDRA Supreme, leader of that organization. Be interesting to see how he handles the opponent he's about to have foisted upon him. That's right, I said foisted. Trust me when I say this, I'm putting my money on the other guy. And you're about to see why. When you hear that, scream! It means Hulk is ready to smash Bruce Banner's alter ego, making his way to the ring to absolutely obliterate, and by proxy for Nick Fury, punish Red Skull. Can't believe he's going to defend that spot he's been given with everything he's got to prove he's the strongest there is. This promises to be a brutal match, if perhaps very one-sided. I'm a little worried for Red Skull's well-being, or I would be if he wasn't a despicable human being. Starting off with a strike is Red Skull trying to get the advantage, and a big neck breaker. Coming in pretty fearlessly is the Hydra Supreme, but I don't know if bravery does much for you. In this case, it might just be reckless endangerment of oneself. Big green monster, not going to be taken down easily. Already hoisting up. Oh, looked like he was going for that power slam, but Red Skull slipping out into a reverse DDT. Hulk looks mildly annoyed more than anything by that counter. It doesn't look like he's actually taken much in the way of damage, period. Big fist in the side of his fist is about the size of most of Red Skull's actual skull. He's an absolute monster. And Johann Schmidt does not look like he's having a good one. This, yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a beating. Good old slobber knocker, as a certain man would say. Those Doc Martens in the gut not doing much, neither is that clothesline. Big clothesline. Hulk basically saying, I'll show you how it's done. Bodying Schmidt with ease. Good old Johann Schmidt. He's a Schmidt head. He's a pile of Schmidt. He's a real Schmitty human being. This is how we get around. Oh! Kendo stick introduced. That's right, I forgot to mention. It is a no disqualification match. Oh! Taking the kendo stick from Red Skull with his bare hands into the gut, over the spine, and now saying, I don't need this, ditching that weapon. Good Lord, I completely forgot that this was a no disqualification match. My bad. That's right. Part of the punishment for Red Skull via Nick Fury's directive was that this would be a no disqualification match. I'm sure Red Skull thought that favored him going into this match until he saw who his opponent was. And that was pretty much just to make things fair. Introducing that kendo stick, only to have it used on him, and now a power slam. That might be it. 1, 2. Oh, but a kick out at 2.9. Hulk can't believe it. Neither can I, frankly. If I'm Johann Schmidt, you might want to just lay down and let this one go. Because I don't think Hulk plans on losing anytime soon. And with no disqualifications, this could get very, very ugly. I mean, look at Hulk, look at Red Skull. It started pretty ugly to begin with, but this is going to get real ugly if Red Skull doesn't just lay down and eat the pin. Totally forgot it was no DQ until that kendo stick came into play. But Hulk ripping that thing right out of his hands, using it on him once to even things up and then once of his own to make him pay for it, and then ditching it as if he could not care less about weapons. Doesn't need him. He's just gonna break Red Skull in half with his bare, gigantic hands. Oh, he's got him up. Elevated triangle choke. A power submission. And Red Skull has to tap. It is over. A big win for the alter ego of Bruce Banner. Good for you, Hulk. Making him suffer on that one. I'm sure Nick Fury will be quite happy with that result. A big loss for Red Skull. Once again failing to grasp the opportunity he wanted so badly. But that is the end of our fight night. Next comes up Infinity. We go beyond with all of you. Thank you once again for joining me each and every time. It's lovely to have you. Remember to hit the like button if you're enjoying what you're seeing. Comment. Let us know what you think. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And remember to please be good to one another. Be good to yourselves. And enjoy your day.